chatiri kuti chivi chacho chii. The first word rinoreva chivi pachiHebheru hata. Hata rinoreva to miss the mark, to fall short of the divine standard. No hata yamunowana New Testament, Romans chapter 3 verse 23. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Ndio inonzi hata pachiHebheru. Vese vakatadza vakasasvika pachiyero chekubwinya kwaMwari. Saka pakasarudza Adam naEve kuteerera diabhorosi, they fell short of the standard. Tofana kunzwisa panapa this thing kuti Mwari paakasika Adam naEve, they were not immediately and instantly endowed with immortality. Vakanga vari subject to death, but on condition they were disobedient. If they had remained obedient to God, they were then going to be elevated to the standard of God. Vosvika pachiyero chaMwari until they were endowed with immortality. That was God's plan. That was God's ideal. That was God's objective. Yekupa Adam naEve a test in the garden, because Mwari aida ku demonstrate to the entire universe that he had created a creature that indeed was like him, especially in terms of morals. But there is no morality where the person ari kutarisirwa kuti asvike pa standard yekuva moral asina choice. Saka Mwari haana kucreate a robot which was just meant to be controlled by him. Go there, turn right, turn left, don't do that, don't touch, or stopping it from touching. God had created a moral being who had freedom of choice and will. Saka Mwari aida kuona kuti munhu watasika uyu anogona here kuzvisarudzira ega kuita zvakaipa kana kusaita zvakaipa. Kana abudirira kusarudza kuita zvakanaka, then God will then endow Adam and Eve with immortality. But unfortunately, before they had reached that standard, they decided otherwise. Nopari kunzi panapa vakaita inonzi hata. They fell short of the standard. They missed the mark. They could not reach the level of God's glory. Ndozvekutanga zvakaitika. Saka pakatadza Adam naEve, zvinoda kuti the earth yakava entrapped in the atmosphere of beings and creatures that cannot reach God's standard. Ndochekutanga. Izwi rechipiri rinoreva zvakare sin ndipesa. Pesa zvinoreva rebellion or transgression. Pesa zvinoreva revolt against the standard. Saka where hata amisa mark, atadza kusvika chaipo chaipo. Where pesa, that is open rebellion, it is transgression, it is actually a revolt against the standard. Pasetwa standard, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. But pesa, urikuti wewe, I will do that. I don't care about what you are saying. So tirikuti kubva musi watadza Adam naEve, that spirit invaded our planet. Human beings, munotozviona wega kuti pane standard iripo. People no longer want to abide by any standard. They enjoy and they revel in rebelling against any standard. Even Satatomboya kunezvokunamata kumabasa kwenyu kwamunoenda chaiko chaiko, you don't like standards. Ndosaka vanhu vazhinji vachiita ma-shortcuts. Ndosaka vanhu vazhinji vachicheat in business. Ndosaka vanhu vazhinji vachicheat even their masters at work. They report late at work. They actually dismiss themselves even earlier. It's because people naturally and instinctively no longer want to live by set standards. Even if you drive from town, some accidents could be avoidable if only people were still keen on maintaining certain standards. But the spirit maintain standards, the spirit of living up to a certain given standard, that one somehow is now alien to humanity. Vanavadi could live up to standards. Those are even right now. People naturally and instinctively no longer want anything that has to do with a set standard. And I see most of modzi yacho yakapinda musi wakapanduka Adam naEve. Modzi yacho yakapinda musi wakasarudza Eva kuita go against what God had said. Modzi yacho yakapinda when Adam consciously and willingly decided to go along with his wife in rebellion against God's standard. Up to this day, there are mighty preachers, very charismatic preachers, who go about telling people that don't worry about God's standard. Do whatever you want. As long as you profess to be a Christian, God will save you. Hakuna zvinhu zvakadaro. Dzidziso iyoyo yakauya nekuda kwezvakaitika muEden. Ndo yakadyara mhodzi yekuti people today are no longer keen on embracing God's standard. Inonzi pesa. Then rechitatu ndi awon. Awon inorewa zvakare inequity, guilt, twisting of the standard, deviation from the standard. Saka chakasaka Adam na Eve vatize pavakanzwa the voice of God and the presence of God, it was because of awon. They felt guilty. Iniquity had invaded even their very inner person. Saka pavakanzwa kuti Mwari akuya, they told themselves, we can no longer stand his presence. No panopinda inonzi guilt. Because they had twisted the standard. Because they had deviated from the standard. They had deviated from God's plan. Each and every time, when we teach ourselves and when we embrace the teaching of the teachers who teach us to deviate from God's standard, tinosara tine inonzi guilt. We are not free at all. Hakuna chinonzi freedom when you are deviating from God's standard. Freedom is only found when you are living within the confines and the boundaries of God's set standard. Munhu anokudzidzisa kuti mutemo waMwari hauna basa anoda kuti upenyu hwako hwese uhurarame in guilt, because paanokudzidzisa kuti mutemo waMwari hauna basa ari kukupa license yekuita adultery, yekutora mukadzi womwe munhu muri kubasa. Ende paunokomita adultery nemukadzi kana murume womwe munhu muri kubasa, paunosangana nemuridzi wemunhu, you are guilty. You are not comfortable. You wish they would quickly do whatever they want to do and go. Izvozvo zvinokuudza kuti something is wrong neteaching yekunzi don't worry about God's standard.